Watch this.
Yo, I just had to pull over, like, and I look all sweaty and stuff because, like, y'all won't believe what God did. So, earlier I'm on here driving down the street, and I heard God said, stop and buy this family food. And I thought he was talking about this lady house that I had bought food for, like, almost last year. And she said that her kids and her needed some food. So I was like, I told my husband, like, okay, so I made this whole list of food, and I asked God to give me the list of food to buy. I got to the lady's house, and she would not pick up. And I didn't want to leave because there was cheese and meat and ice, and I didn't want to leave the stuff on the porch so that he could cook it and melt it, right? So I'm leaving, and I left a note in her door. So I turned back around because I forgot to put my number on there to tell her to call me back when she get this note so I can drop off the food. Well, there was another lady coming up on her porch, and I said, do you know the lady that live here? And she said, what lady? And I told her, and she said, don't know a lady with kids live here. So I was sitting here like, what the heck is going on? So I just continued driving. So I said, God, please lead me to a family that needs this food. So I'm driving, and I keep straight. And then I make a left, and then God said, make a right, so I kept right. And then I was about to make a left 2 blocks later, God said, no, the next street. I went to the next street, and I turned, and there was a gang of kids playing in the street and in the yard. And his dad was standing out there. And I told him, I said, excuse me, sir, I pray to God that he lead me to a family that needs food or someone that I can help, because I bought this food for a family that no longer lives there. And he kind of looks at me like, hey, do you need food? And he said, yes, I do. And I said, okay. So I gathered all the food. It was bags after bags, ice, a whole lot of food, chicken, enough to feed a family for a week. And I gave him the food, and the only thing you can hear is the joy of the kids saying, oh my God, bananas, grapes, look, Dad, pasta. Like, I can't believe God literally gave me the direction. And then the kids started coming to the car, helping me with all the food with such joy on their face. And then it got to the point when I was pulling off, the dad was telling them to take all their toys to the house so he can make them a meal. The way that God been talking to me and using me is so beautiful. And I'm sorry I'm over here tearing and bawling my eyes out. But he gave me directions, and as soon as I turned the corner, they was there. Right when I asked him, Lord, let me run into a family. And I was specifically looking for a family playing outside. And as I kept on driving, I was like, there's no one outside. How? It wasn't a coincidence. It was God. Be obedient. You never know how God leading you. Oh, I'm so emotional. Thank you, God. Thank you.